Malaysia will no longer use daily virus infections as a metric to ease curb for states once they enter the second phase of the National Recovery Plan, Finance Minister Tunku Datuk Seri Abdul Aziz says. The government will instead use Covid-19 hospitalisation rates as one of the three indicators to allow states to move to the third and final phase of the plan, he said in a video posted on his Facebook page, Bloomberg reports. The two other thresholds, vaccination rate and ICU occupancy, will remain the same. Safrul says that once 40% of adults have been vaccinated, the number of new cases becomes less relevant because most cases show little to no symptoms, hence reducing the burden placed on public infrastructure. The hospitalization rate must be 3 cases per 100,000 of the population for states to move from the second to third phase. To get to the final stage, the rate must be 1.3 cases per 100,000 people, where states may reopen their social and economic sectors under new norms. The government is expecting most states to reach this phase in early October. This comes as the nation's new COVID-19 cases top 20,000 today, with 20,596 cases recorded with fresh highs in states including Selangor, Johor and Sabah. Consistently, however, on average, more than 90% of the cases showed light to zero symptoms, although Health DG Tan Sri Noor Hisham Abdullah says there is a chance their health may deteriorate over time. The government is currently focusing on speeding up its vaccination drive, with 32.9% of the adult population fully vaccinated, while 63.8% have received at least one dose as on August 4th. Noor Hisham also revealed today that Malaysia has granted conditional approval for emergency use of the Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Currently, Malaysia's vaccine portfolio includes Pfizer-biontech, Sinovac and AstraZeneca, while Johnson & Johnson and CanSino's one-shot vaccines have also been approved for emergency use. Mr. DIY Group Malaysia saw its second quarter net profit jump 44% year-on-year to 82.1 million, as last year's corresponding quarter had been impacted by the first MCO. However, numbers were down 34% quarter-on-quarter due to the FMCO that had been imposed in June. Quarterly revenue rose 47% year-on-year to 759.8 million, supported by contributions from new stores, as some of its stores continued limited operations during the FMCO. It declared an interim single-tier dividend of 0.6 cent per share. For the first half of FY21, Mr. DIY's net profit jumped 79% to 206.9 million, while revenue for the period rose 55% to 1.63 billion. CEO Adrian Ong says that during the first half, the group grew its station network by 13% from end 2020 to 827 stores and is aiming to add another 82 stores across all three brands in the second half. It also recently launched Mr. DIY Express, which enables it to take its modern retail store format to rural and smaller towns that can be set up quickly and cost efficiently. Some 114 million in cash seized during a dramatic raid at Pavilion Residences in 2018 have been returned to ex-PM Datuk Seri Najib Razak via his representative, according to a source. This came after the High Court on May 20th dismissed the application by the government to forfeit the money, followed by the prosecution's move not to appeal against the decision. The 114 million, which was mostly in foreign currencies and purportedly linked to 1MDB, was claimed by Najib, a former president of UMNO, and by the party itself. Justice Datuk Muhammad Jamil Hussin, who dismissed the forfeiture suit, did not make any order as to whom the money should be returned to. He said that the prosecution had failed to bring any evidence that the money was dirty. To recap, the 114 million was seized during a police raid shortly after GE14 and yielded between 900 million and 1.1 billion worth of valuables, including close to 12,000 pieces of luxurious jewellery, handbags, watches and cash. Central REIT, formerly known as MRCB Quill REIT, saw its net property income fall 7.8% to 29 million in the second quarter as its properties generated lower revenues. Quarterly realised revenues dropped 4.8% year-on-year to 38.2 million due to revenue drops in Platinum Central, Plaza Mont Kiara, QB3 BMW and Wisma Technip. Net income, however, managed to improve by 19% year-on-year to 22.6 million thanks to a gain on divestment of Quill Building 5, as well as lower operating expenses and finance costs. For the first half of FY21, net property income declined 6% year-on-year to 60.5 million, while realised revenue fell 3.2% to 79.2 million from 81.8 million previously. Net income was 11.5% higher at 43.3 million. Central REIT declared a distribution per unit of 3.43 cent. In a statement, CEO su-lin said that the REIT's stable performance was backed by its healthy committed portfolio occupancy of 91.7% as at June 30th. She adds that approximately 73% of leases due in the first half have been successfully renewed. Yong says that given the continued uncertainties, it is keeping a close watch on the situation and will reach out to tenants who are adversely impacted and will offer flexible and viable tenancy options as part of its tenant retention initiatives. Genting Plantations is open to opportunities to expand its oil palm plantation land bank to further grow the company's earnings. In an email response to theedgemarkets.com, Genting Plantations representative Anne Sharon Then said that the company would make the necessary disclosure if something materialized, but did not elaborate further. She was reporting to queries on speculation regarding the group's merger and acquisition plans after news reports quoting Kenanga IB revealed that the company gets proposals from time to time. Kenanga said that Genting Plantations is likely to be interested in estates in South Kalimantan, where its current Indonesian estates are concentrated, also helping its still growing war chest of about 800 million ringgit. According to Genting Plantations' website, its current land bank spans 243,500 hectares across Malaysia and Indonesia.